Hello and welcome to Wilderspace Gaming, where we're starting a new game, new setting, and new GM in me. My name's Tom, and I'm going to be running Legend of the Five Rings, but the 4th edition, because I don't like the mechanics of the 5th edition. This is a campaign that we started during COVID times and lockdown, so it is a continuation of that. The characters are already established and have got a background together and have got various memories of what happened last time. Although that was 3 years ago when we were playing. The reason it's 3 years ago, we alternate games masters, so anyone who wants to run a game can run a game, and nobody gets GM burnout or player burnout from being the same game. So I'd like to introduce the players and get them to introduce their characters. And I'd also like them to give me one memory of the last campaign that still stands out to them. So I'm going to start with Ken.
Hi, I'm Ken. Playing. I have to remember who I'm playing now.
Yeah.
Takahashi. Who's a Shugenja. You don't want any background or anything yet, do you?
No, just what
memories of
stands out?
the last game. So I was thinking about this earlier, and there's absolutely so many that are really classic ones. I think the one that stands out the most when I was thinking about it was when we were first playing, and we met the first kind of really bad, or it might have been the first Shadowlandsy creature, that ogre. And I Jade bolted it, and then it did a run pell-mell for me. I honestly thought I was going to be a dead character in like the first few sessions, because I thought that was going to hand my ass to me on a plate. And I think Ian stepped in for one of it, and Andy had to go and stuff. But that really sticks out. But there's so many things. The whole laughter over Takahiro's peacock armor and us picking on him the whole time. That's a standout point. When I first used my spell that I'd created, that was really good. All of the jokes about the food and eating, and there was just so many high points of the campaign in the past, I'd say. But that first big fight, that was, I honestly thought I was going to die.
Yeah, Five Rings is a fairly deadly system.
Deadly go, yeah, that's one thing. The other thing that I thought of, which was really funny, that sticks in my mind, is when we fought that Only Lord, and he kept on picking up goblins and putting them in front of stuff. That was hilarious.
Yeah, so he was a unique creature who had the ability to command goblins, and anyone at any point he could grab a goblin next to him and put him in the path of danger, so he took no damage, but sacrifice one of his goblins.
Yeah, that's about all they're good for.
Yeah.
There's something else I just thought of, but I've forgotten. Give me 2 seconds if it comes back to. No, it's gone.
Yeah.
Don't waste all of them. There's still all of us to go.
Moving on. Yeah, these are my memories, though. So you've all got your own.
Yeah, but some of them might be my memories too.
Speaking of which, B, go for it.
Hi, I'm B. I play Xiaofan. She's a Shugenja, like Takahashi. I think we're the only two Shugenjas, aren't we?
Yeah.
My character was originally Tortoise Clan. So I did a shift from minor clan to minor clan. Hooray for me. One of my favorite moments from last game was in one of the first villages that we stopped by after we started traveling towards the Boar's lair. There was a village that was plagued by a ghost at night, where there was mist rolling in, and it was of a, I think it was of a woman, or yeah, that had drowned basically.
Yeah.
And her ghost decided to just appear, standing over, I think, Takahiro,
Yeah.
Andy's character, in the night, and it scared the shit out of me. I remember this was back when we were playing at the table, and I wanted to note away really, really far. Yeah, that one, and I think shortly afterwards we also went to go fight what's the creature, Kappa,
Yeah.
with the bowl of water in its head, and I got to use my Tempest of Air spell, which basically knocked it over. It was the only
That
thing
was
that
really
made it
clever.
weak.
That was
And
really cleverly done. That was brilliant. That was really good.
we were so scared because none of our hits were doing anything. We were,
Yeah,
I think
we couldn't
all
work out how to do it. Yeah.
yeah, everyone was hitting it real
Brilliant.
hard, and it was just sort of like shrugging it off, and I was like, and then we knocked it over. The water comes out of its head, and then suddenly it was very killable. But up until that moment, horribly terrifying. And as I think Thomas briefly mentioned, the fighting system in this is very deadly, very deadly indeed.
There's also no resurrection in Legend of the Five Rings either. So once the character's
It's
dead,
completely opposite of 5e,
yeah,
isn't it? Where it's very difficult to actually die. This is very easy to die.
Yeah.
I love it.
Next, we're going to go to Mr. Kyle.
Hello, I'm Kyle. I play Ryutao, the former Wasp Clan archer and now scout and hunter of the Boar Clan. I'd say my most memorable moment is accidentally communing with the great forest spirit and then suddenly realising what I was just talking to.
Oh yeah, that was very funny.
Yeah, that was. I have tweaked quite a few things from L5R, like creatures and lore and stuff. I brought things in that I like. So, but I've got lots of influences from places like Studio Ghibli and other mythologies from around the world as well. So that's something new-ish to rock again. Mr. Andy.
Hi there, I'm Andy. I'm playing Takahiro. It did actually say Takahito on the screen, so I've just actually had to change that because I couldn't remember my own character's name and put it wrong on the overlay. Anyway, I play Takahiro, who is, as Ian isn't here, I shall declare that I am the premier Bushi and sword fighter in the group.
It's another paladin situation, guys.
However, I'm from a far more superior clan. I'm from the Crane clan, and I can't remember what Akihiro came from. Was he Dragon?
Dragon, yeah.
Dragon. I have Takehiro's made this great step down in prestige to go from the Crane clan to join the Boar clan and help refound the Boar clan. But he believes this is a place that he will manage to make his story and make his name. And the first step of that was possibly the greatest element for Takahiro was the fact that he's now unfortunately had to relinquish the title because it's only for a year. He was the Topaz champion, and proving that he was the superior samurai of all those present, including all of these companions. For some reason, they don't seem to accept his leadership. I'm not entirely sure why. I mean, he wanders around with a banner on the back of his armor declaring all his great virtues and achievements, and they don't like
Didn't
it.
you only win because 2 people got disqualified?
No,
because we weren't
your memory
proper
is false.
samurais.
No, but he won through his own merit.
You carry a banner around behind you. I've never really noticed it.
I've changed it.
I'm ignoring it. I haven't seen anything.
But yeah, so
what's Andy's favourite memory that comes out though?
Winning the Topaz Championship
no, actually,
by cheating.
the not necessarily my favourite, but the memory that stuck most in my head was just how lethal this system was when some poxy little goblin, was it,
Wounded goblin.
hit my character and
Oh,
nearly
wounded
killed,
goblin.
killed him in one blow just by having a lucky damage dice roll, wasn't it?
And then it did it, and then it happened again a few sessions later. Another goblin almost did the same thing.
I don't remember that.
Hit you in the foot. Yeah.
I think it was a different game. It happened
Oh,
to
was it?
Andy
All
in a
right.
different game.
All right.
Yeah,
Andy just keeps getting stabbed in the foot by
The-
goblins.
in the foot.
Curse,
Yeah.
His Achilles
curse
heel.
landed.
My Achilles toes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely lethal
That was
system.
funny.
My character is supposed to be the most lethal swordsman in the group. Ian will dispute that, and well, he's not here, so I can admit that it's true. That he has managed to power game a much more lethal swordsman than mine, but mine can actually talk to people. And
Yeah.
my character is the politician of the group, and has an aim to he's still seeking a particular young lady's hand in marriage.
Which we will come to as
Finks
well.
is the politician of the group.
Yeah.
Yeah, Michelle fan would have other.
I'm the trader. I sort out the trade lines.
Yeah.
Ben was off
You're
base.
the back alley
Depends on things. Yeah.
politician.
Yeah.
You actually get stuff done whilst Takahiro's chatting to boring people.
Yeah. I talk bollocks. She sorts it out.
Yeah.
I distract the important people.
You distract the important people whilst Xiaofan can get the job done. That's
Yep,
it.
sounds pretty right. Yep.
And Mr. Ben.
Well, Carl hasn't gone yet either.
No, Carl did.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you?
Yeah.
I missed
Cole's
that.
been.
It's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow. I'm sorry, Carl.
He's not paying attention.
Okay.
I wasn't paying attention.
Failure.
So,
Yeah, so I play Heichi, who is was a clan dragon tattooed monk from the Togashi order,
yes.
I think. I joined the group a bit later than everyone else, so I've got less memories, and what I did see was I didn't understand a lot of it. I'll be honest. I do remember the big fight with the hobgoblin oni things. That was quite cool, and I enjoyed when we spent a couple of sessions kind of politicking and working all of the kidnapped people in the Boar clan, kind of working up. Was it like an escape plan or a plan to kind of take over or something? It never kind of got to that stage because I think we agreed to sign on to the clan, but there was a lot of kind of politicking, and that was quite enjoyable. I enjoyed that. Yeah, I think that's it really.
And as Andy said, we are missing one person. Unfortunately, Ian took a tumble and hurt himself, so he's not able to join us this week. Fingers crossed he heals up quickly. So, as a recap of what happened in the last campaign and where we left off, the players, with the exception of Ben, who wasn't around at the time, all took part in their Genpuku ceremony, which is the coming of age, which is the Topaz Championships in this particular case, with Takahiro actually winning the title of Topaz Champion for the year and being gifted a suit of gorgeous armor. They were then approached by two different people to offer them two different routes. The route that they chose was to take a step either sideways or downwards in the social strata of Rokugan and help reform the Boar Clan with the permission of the Emperor. The new daimyo of the Boar clan, Heichi Chokai, gave them the location of the Boar lands and asked them to head there and start the process of reclamation whilst he tried to gather more allies and more people to his banner. After various shenanigans and adventures over the weeks that it took them to travel from one side of the empire to the other side, they discovered the remnants of Shiro Heichi, the castle of the Boar. After a bit of exploration, they discovered that within the castle there were a number of Shadowlands people, tainted and lost from the celestial order that the rest of the empire is of. After a bout of fighting these demon sworn people, they managed to reclaim the castle. All grand, all fantastic. And in the year since this game ended, they've spent this year reclaiming, cleaning, getting people in to actually remake the castle. But during that year, they also discovered a outpost of the Boar clan, thought to have been lost these past 200 years. A hidden outpost called the Lair, where any guests found in the Boar lands were invited to stay at the Lair for the rest of their lives. They were treated honourably, but they weren't allowed to leave. After much politicking and proving their worth, and proving that they were now part of the newly reformed Boar clan, they've managed to come to arrangements with the Jomai, who is the leader of the Lair. He is still a member of the old Boar clan. Part of this agreement was something which our two Shugenja, our two priestly magic users, came up with. So Xiaofan and Takahashi, please explain what the ritual of Stone's Breath is.
Stone's
In
Oath.
fact, why don't you lead us through one?
So Stone's Oath.
Yeah, because we've prepared it. Yeah.
Stone's Oath. I apologise. That's my
Yeah.
fault. Stone's Oath.
We've spent ages chatting about it out of game. Not.
Yeah. We spent about 5 minutes. So let's go.
Yep. Throw it in the fire.
Do you want to
So
describe
it'll
it
be.
again?
Yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah, you're
Thanks,
welcome.
Pete.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Well, no, I was going to no. So we thought that it would be start off with me performing the ritual with. It's a balance between my earth mastery and Xiaofan's air mastery, and can we say that I've managed to cast one of those spells, the one that one of my new ones,
Yes.
to the bounty one, yes, because that's an ideal place to actually perform it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because it's special, and well, we can decide all about that afterwards. But I've created a sacred place within the lair, which has its lush crops and lush fauna and flora. It's an area about 40-50 feet in diameter. It's got nice carvings of Shikoku Dogu and Kami, and it's a very serene and peaceful area. And in that area is a pedestal of stone. On that pedestal of stone is the is the ritualistic stone that we've created that is the centerpiece of the ritual, if you like. It's been created by artisans of the Boar who are much better than us at stonemanship. Intricately carved and runed with oaths and the tenets of the Boar inscribed into it, and it starts off with the with the person who we want to make sure that they don't give away any secrets about the lair. That is the whole point. The agreement was that to integrate the lair into the greater Boar clan was that they need to keep their secrecy. That was one of the criteria. The lair has to remain secret no matter what. And the stumbling block was that we couldn't work out how to integrate that with actually leaving. And Xiaofan came up with the idea. Actually, and then I've run with it and created, along with her help, the ritual. So the subject comes into the area, the sacred area. It stands behind the stone. Xiaofan is one side. Takahashi is the other side of the stone, and the subject is asked by me to pick up the stone, and then I call once it's got hold of the stone, I then invoke the oath, which is summoning the kami, the power of the kami. I call the kami into the circle. If you like the ritual area, the sacred area becomes a ritual circle, and I invoke the kami, and then I hand over to Xiaofan, who then talks the subject through actually the wording of the oath, and then over to you, B, for your part.
Xiaofan, Takahashi. Well, Takahashi has invoked the attention of the Earth Kami, and is beseeching their power to aid us in this ritual. Whilst the subject, whoever it is that has volunteered to go first, I think there's only one exception to that I'll pose to. But who comes forward, Tom?
The person who comes forward is actually one of the guests of the Boar. It is Mia Kashako, who is an Imperial Herald who has been petitioning the Jomai to be able to leave the lair before she carries important documents for the Empire.
Okay, so Mia has obviously begun this ritual with us. We sort of talk her through how it's going, like talk her through sort of like what she needs to do as part of the ritual. And then Xiaofan faces her and starts reading out the promise and the oath that it is that she has to make whilst holding this stone, this focal point. The stone, I think, is. I'm just going to add in there, if Ken, if you don't mind, that it's probably a stone that was carved from the Twilight Mountains, where the Boar's lair is. Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Like almost like the tether to the Boar's lair. And yeah, Xiaofan's part in this is to keep the target's mind clear whilst this is all happening, keep them not being too nervous, and just make it as simple as possible. Talking them through exactly what it is, like word for word, and then they repeat, and then say a sentence, they repeat. and in the process lasts about 10 minutes, and then it completes. And I don't imagine that there's any that the person actually feels any different.
No.
Um,
I'd say that at the end, I entreat the Kami to bring the permanence of Earth to kind of finalise and finish off the ritual, and then
and that's it.
but that's it.
Would you explain what happens to the person if they break the stone's oath?
I think we'd say that before we did the whole thing.
Oh yeah.
Like, that's not a
They
surprise we
know
had
it.
in.
They know it. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
because they have to agree with it. That was part of the whole
Yeah.
chatting with the
Yeah.
Jomai. So also, it's only the guests that will be doing this, isn't it? It's not none of us are taking this, and no other Boar clans will be taking this. So it's just guests and anybody else that accidentally trespasses in this area. It's just allowing them to be able to leave, basically.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
What happens is if they give away any secrets of the Boar,
Oh yeah,
of
we
the
should probably say.
lair. Sorry.
Sorry, I just realised we hadn't said on
Well,
stream what it was that it does. The audience
Yeah.
doesn't know. So
Yeah.
carry on.
If at any point after the spell has been cast, the target breaks the wording of the oath, they will immediately be turned to stone before they have the chance to break the oath. Once the spell has been cast, it cannot be removed by any means, and if they're turned to stone, it is irreversible by any means.
So at
Thereby
some point,
securing the secret of the lair. So,
I'm imagining
yeah,
there's like gonna be just randomly, just word of people being turned to stone, and then we go and collect the stone, and then we bring it back as a statue for our garden, and we start collecting statues of people.
yeah, sounds about right. There's definitely going to be one, isn't there? It's going to be at some point. There will be one.
Gotta be at some point. Yeah, there's gotta be one. So,
Yeah.
and that we specifically worded it so that the Stone's Oath isn't just down to verbal communication; it's any form of communication. So they can't do charades, they can't do writing it down, that sort of thing. It's anything that would any information, any specifically communicative indication of the Boar's lair, and even if it's accidental, unfortunately. So they just have to be gotta be wary.
That's the thing that it cut. That was the biggest thing that was our concern, was that most people would be honest and not want to die. It's the accidental, right? You don't realise that you're actually doing it. The
Get
secret
drunk one day.
must be lots of drunken statues or statues of drunk people.
Excellent. So, yes, this is a brand new spell which these guys have actually created, and I simply adore for all sorts of shenanigans that I can play with at later dates.
Oh no.
Absolutely.
Next, we're actually going to move slightly over to Ryutao.
Yep.
And you have been writing letters these last few months to a certain person, and you have been granted permission by Heichi Chokai to go visit this person, Kitsune Ryoshi of the Fox Clan, and also to visit your family in the Wasp, who is their lands next to the Foxes anyway. During this time of writing letters, you have actually come to know Ryoshi a bit more. She's slightly older than you, but yet to take her Genpuku because you were a prodigy child. So You haven't. You're still quite young, to be a full-blown samurai, but that doesn't stop you from being deadly.
But it
You've
does not.
arrived at Shiro Kitsune, and after making your general greetings and courtesies to the daimyo, you and Ryoshi decide to go off hunting, which is one of her favorite pastimes. And at some point, you have to stop for lunch. And after a little bit of general chit chat, general catch up, she turns to you and says, "It's been so long since we met. There's so much I wanted to tell you that I could not write down for fear of my letters being read. I'm worried about my father. He's he's been acting strange these past couple of months. Uh, he he knows what he's going to give me as a test for my Ganpuku, but something is off about him and about what this test could possibly be. And I'm not sure what I want to do."
Surely your father would know it's best to train, do a test for a Kitsune Shugenja as yourself.
Yeah, he's not a Shugenja himself. He's a Bushi. He's a fighter. He is my father, and he's the daimyo of the Kitsune. But his mannerisms seem to have changed. He's not as friendly as he was before. He has been reading more old texts, and I'm worried about what is happening to him.
You fear of outside things affecting him. Could he be influenced by others, or these texts? Have they?
When we first met, you you saw the Kitsune spirit herself with me. You're one of the few outside of the clan who's ever been blessed by these spirits. And I know you said that you're visited by spirits from time to time.
Yes, not usually the blessings, but more the often not the tricksters.
Right. Right. Okay. But you've dealt with these spirits in the past, and I know you're not a priest. I know you're not a Shugenja. You are a hunter. What advice can you give?
So originally, I saw it all as a curse and attacked creatures in defense. But now I've stopped and started listening and hearing what they have to say. I've spoken to more spirits than I thought I'd ever in my time.
And
I don't know if the Kitsune talk to you frequently. Have they offered you any counsel?
they've turned a bit skittish when my father approaches me. In fact, they just turn skittish around him when they are around him. He wants me to find our family sword. Uh, our sword was lost long ago, and that is going to be my test of my Genpuku. But he seems, these texts that he's reading, I'm not comfortable with these texts. There's something wrong about them, and I don't know what it is. Can I call on you?
Of course.
There may be a time that I need you, and I thank you for that. And at that point, she actually leans in and gives you a hug, which is not uncomfortable. As you know, the fox don't tend to follow the general decorums of courts. They're a bit more in tune with nature. So you don't find this odd for her. But what you do find odd is that she's the daughter of a daimyo. And apart from you being a samurai of the Boar, in fact, you are a Hatamoto, you are one of the honored advisors, you're still unsure about what this means. There's been hints in her letters and the occasional glance or accidental brushing of you as you've been hunting that maybe she wants more than friendship with you, but you're not sure.
And now I'll respectfully sort of accept the hug and return it.
Yeah. You continue hunting for the next hour or so, and as you are offered a bed for the evening and a meal with the daimyo and his family as an honoured guest, as a Hatamoto of another minor clan.
Graciously accept.
Yeah. There is general chit chats, nothing major. Nothing major, but there's also occasional glances from there's occasional glances to you, as if the daimyo notices something about you. But these are not glances of respect or recognition. There's something about it. Why not? Let's have a.
I was about to say, I'm going to look round and make sure I see nothing to do with the Sekaku
Yeah.
while I'm here.
No worries. Let's have a quick look at the skills list. Let's see what we can get you to
Yes.
roll, because it'll be the first roll of the night. We're going to go with not Bushi skills. I'm going to go
Get a
with
bonus XP because it's the first roll of the session of the whole
Nope.
campaign.
Nope. No bonus XP.
No, only for him.
Okay. Give me a investigation roll. You're actively hunting for this thing.
So,
And obviously you roll the middle column because that's your so you roll
Yep.
it as trained. Yeah.
yeah, I just worked that one out. I had to look
Yeah.
at that. Shut up.
16. Okay. You do see a kitsune who you know is one of the trickster spirits from Sakoku. And she's got 4 tails. This little kitsune fox. So she's not in her full power, but she's sitting next to the daimyo, but she is cowering in fear from him. And she's like sat facing she's lying down facing the same direction as the daimyo, but she glances up occasionally and you can tell that she's scared of of something from the daimyo, whose name, let me just bring his name up. Gohai, Kitsune Gohai. And you do remember that he's looking a lot more tired than he did the last time you saw him, but that was a year ago. So, the rest of the evening passes fairly uneventfully, and the next day you continue your journeys. We're going to swap over to Andy. Takahiro.
Yep.
Towards the end of the year, you headed back to Sumo Village back in the Crane Lands to return the Topaz armor.
Correct.
On that journey, Akihiro, the dragon, the former dragon, I should say, and your closest friend and competitor.
I'm not sure friend is the right word. Certainly
Not
closest
sure I
competitor.
understand.
Ooh. What was that? I don't know what happened there.
Weird.
So, your closest competitor and friendly rival.
Yes. Yeah. That's a better way of putting it. Yeah.
Friendly rival. Yeah. It comes with you. See, he fancies the journey. However, on the way back, you stop in at your parents' house.
Mm-hmm.
And after the dinner, where Akihiro was present, and after pleasantries and so on, your mother and father asked to speak to you privately.
Mm-hmm.
You do notice throughout the entire evening that they are colder to you than you remember.
Okay.
The letters that you've been writing and receiving, there's been nothing that has raised any alarm bells. There's nothing that's raised any concerns. But now that you're face to face with them and in a private room, and they sit there and your father says, "Please, explain yourself. We had arranged a marriage with a minor member of the Imperial line for yourself. You were on the track to becoming a known swordsman, and we had organized enough opportunities for you to shine within the Crane Clan. Why did you step down and join a minor clan?"
Right. Out of character. I did discuss this with them before I made the decision.
You did, but they've had a year to think on it.
Right. Okay. So in answer, we did discuss this at the time, my father, and it was it seemed like a very great opportunity to take up, and to be a more important member of a minor clan rather than a minor member of a major clan. And as to why the betrothal was broken off, that was the choice of my that was the choice of Doji. Oh God, what's her name? Doji. I can't even pronounce this. Yukisaru.
Yeah.
Doji Yukisaru. She did not agree with my decision to take up the offer that ultimately came from the Emperor to join the Boar, and she was not willing to continue with the marriage, and she is, I'm sure, still rather upset with me as to my decision, but to join the Boar, but the decision to break off the marriage, that was her decision.
Your mother pipes in and goes, she had no choice. A lady of the imperial line marrying a member of the minor clans. If you had stayed within the Crane, then your fortunes and ours would have been assured.
So may I ask, what has changed in the last year? Because this was all part of our discussions a year ago, and I understand your point that she had little choice, but if that is true now, that is true a year ago when we discussed this decision.
We did not foresee the depth of her anger, and that's your slight, that as she sees it. She has been very malicious towards our family and to yourself especially, you and your new clan. It is as if she's hoping for the downfall and failure of this clan, and for your personal failure and shame. But she is also slandering us because we supported you.
I was not aware that she would take it so personally. Is she now not engaged to Doji Kotego?
They are actually married not a month ago. And while she is happy in her new position, in her new role as wife to Doji Katago-san, she is still angry at the snub that she sees that you gave her.
Well, there are two things that so out of character, because I would know this. What clan is she now part of?
So she is still part of the Crane.
Yep.
Yep.
So this is because this is all infighting within the Crane, isn't it?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she is of the Imperial line, but she is several steps, quite a few steps removed. But she is a doji, who
It's
is also
a different
different
family within the Crane. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So I shall say I think the question that should be asked, and if she continues with her slights against you, my suggestion, and it is obviously for you to decide this, the question that should be raised is why she is so happily married, but still obsessed with the slight that she perceives she has is still suffering. If she that implies that her marriage is not her current marriage is not of her choice, and she would rather have married me. if she if she I can understand her desire to cause harm to the boar, and that is something that I will speak with to my daimo. But if she is insulting you or bringing problems to you, then I would merely raise the question as to what relevance the that my family has to her now that she is happily married. As I say, it implies that her marriage is not one that she wanted and regrets. And should Doji Katigo wish to make a formal issue of this, then I will. He merely has to seek me out, and I will meet him in a duel. If he believes his new wife's honour has been besmirched that much that his marriage has not removed that slight, and that they are both insecure enough in their marriage that they seek to cause problems with a former engagement.
Yeah, they have found, from what I understand, and if the rumours are true, this is still your mother speaking. Yukiyasu and San and Kotago-san were in love prior, and that was the reason that Doji Kotago-san and yourself had issues whilst you were at school. You were always better than him as a swordsman, and you were engaged to be married to the person that he loved. He has, while he still is in love with his wife, and it is a rare love marriage and not a political one, he still holds resentment to you for the years of pain that you caused. Some of it intentional by being the better swordsman, but some of it unintentional by having this arranged marriage with the person that he loved. Doji Yukiyasu, on the other hand, was not happy in the betrothal, but saw in you the opportunity to better her standing. And while she loved Kotago, she understood that political marriages for the good of her family are often come first and are more important than love matches.
Once again, it sounds like they have achieved the love match that they wished, and by my decision, and yet they both take slight at it still. It implies that their love match is not quite as strong as they are making out. And
no, I believe their love match is strong enough.
No, sorry, you misunderstand me, my mother. I am saying what I would be speaking to the people of influence. If they are spreading rumors about us, that is the story I would put back to them. Because if they wish to connive against you, that is the ammunition that I would connive against them.
Your father slaps his knees. We taught you well. You have not lost your touch within the courts, even though you've...
And I have some
no
news
longer
to
there.
relate to you. I did not wish to speak of this in front of my companion, but it is not guaranteed, and it is merely hopeful. But I am hoping for a betrothal amongst the Boar Clan that will raise my standing further within the Boar Clan. My objective is to become the most important advisor to the Daimo, and I think I am well on the way to that. There are others who
Oh.
are very useful, but in matters of war, I think I will be the war and um, uh, dealings with the court. I am best placed, I think, to take the lead there and advise the demo. There are some other very, very useful and knowledgeable members of my group, but I am the one I think that the demo will look to lean on the most.
You're all gonna die.
Sorry, I'm just looking at everyone else pissing themselves.
Mm.
No.
I love this character. He's so fucking arrogant.
Yeah.
Such a peacock.
He's a peacock, man.
He's a crane.
Yeah.
He's a crane. He's such a crane.
Sorry, Tom.
In that case, we look forward to hearing more of your betrothal, and we will keep you appraised of the dealings within the court that we know and we hear.
I thank you again for the stipend that you still bequeath me. The Boar Clan is not the wealthiest, so anything you can do to aid my financial situation helps increase my standing within the clan.
You're gonna make him
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
roll
Yeah.
that deception.
Roll a deception.
Why is that a lie?
Mm.
Oh, because you saw how much money was in the lair.
Oh,
Boar are so rich.
sorry,
Massively
apologies.
rich.
Sorry, Andy the player had completely
Oh,
forgotten
right,
that.
okay.
Completely.
Oh, okay.
I thought you were trying to rinse your parents.
No. No. Apologies. Ignore that then.
Oh, that's so funny.
Can we retcon that, please? I had as a now I do have a memory of that. I'd completely forgotten. Yes, they're really wealthy, aren't they?
Yes, they
Yeah,
are.
okay.
They got like all their taxes back, like all the taxes that they just couldn't pay to the emperor.
Yeah,
for,
but
like,
that's going to get
generations.
Yeah, except aren't they going to have to pay that? That's a separate thing. But aren't they going to have to pay that to the emperor?
Yes, and you know from discussions that Xiaofan is got another title, laundress, because she's going to be laundering all of the money. So,
It's all about the money.
Right. Okay. Yes. Sorry. But sorry. No. In that case, I won't say that at all.
yeah.
No.
Okay. No, that's fair. That's fair. No problem. We're going to leave you there having sake with your parents.
Okay.
Okay. Ben, Mr. Ben.
Yellow.
Hello. So, Mr. Ben, over the last few months of helping reclaim the Borderlands, you've spent a lot of time exploring the land in the company of yourself and also in the company of Ryutao. But after the successful completion of the Stone's Oath, about a month after that happens, your fellow clan member, your fellow former clan member, former, yeah, of what is his name, Muramoto Rokai, the Bushi and Source Master of the Dragon Clan, or a Source Master of the Dragon Clan. He approaches you and goes, Tagashi, Heichi-san, I've just completed my Stone's Oath. I would like to visit some of the mountains around here. Would you be kind enough to show me some of the paths and sites that you've seen over the last couple of months?
I'd be delighted, Roki-san.
Many thanks. So, you know of the two mountains. That are not too far from the actual the ball. Let me just. Did I put the map in here? Let me just. Can't remember. Let me just double check. Journal artwork. Oh, oh. Dang it! Where is it? Personal notes. Multi handouts. Borland. Here we go. Oh, going to the players. There we go. So, you remember these two mountains, Keiyu and Kotai. I say Kaikon and Kotai. And you point these two mountains out and go. These two mountains. They are unique, I would say, in that they remind me of the most of home.
Do they? Do I have? Presume I have the same homeland? Do I?
Yes.
Being
so
dragon. Yeah.
yes, being dragon. Yeah. Let me just grab something quickly. And, go. Oh. I clicked the wrong thing because I'm a Muppet. There we go. How does that come up now? I apologise. Ah, it isn't up there. 1 second. These one is called Regret. I can't remember which one it was because my brain has just done a complete oops. No, those tusks. Three Brothers Lonely Monastery. And on one of them, there is a place called the Lonely Monastery.
Okay.
Yep. You spent some time here because it's the only true temple within the Borderlands that had actually survived, because it was not far from the Boar's Lair. Sorry,
Right.
which is Kaikon, regret, and Kitai is hope.
I think is this the place where there were carvings or something?
Yeah. So throughout the actual Borderlands, you've come across little stone humanoid statues, very rough carved stuff. But the Lonely Monastery itself, it's where the few Boar samurai who come old enough to retire actually go to.
Right.
Yep. There's many statues displaying lots of the fortunes that go up to the monastery. Yeah. But there's also a statue deep into the monastery itself that always struck a chord with you, but you're not sure why.
Okay.
But it's you lead him to you lead Rokai to the gardens of the Lonely Monastery itself instead, and
is he specifically interested in the monastery then?
no,
just the general area.
Just generally, actually leaving the Boar's Lair. He hasn't managed to leave the Boar's Lair for I think he was there for over a year and a half, and you take him to the gardens of the monastery just because you know that the view from there out over the aquifer to Kitai Hope, that is absolutely stunning when the sun rises. So you lead him there, and during this time, he's asking questions all the time and things. So have you now left the Togashi Order, or are you still a member of the Togashi Order, but just with the Heichi name?
Perhaps the best answer to that I can give is that the shadow may outlast the flame, but both succumb to time.
No, you're a Togashi. That's fine. You're a Togashi still.
God,
It's
I
no
forgot about
problem.
this.
Yeah.
I
you're
just
still a
remembered this as
Togashi.
well.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Ben's got his list.
Yeah,
he's got his list of
What
quotes
do I
ready.
apply?
Oh.
A little book of
Brilliant,
inspirational
absolutely
thoughts.
brilliant,
Yeah.
absolutely brilliant.
That's
I missed this character.
yeah.
That definitely settles the issue in Heichi's mind, anyway.
Yeah. And it settles it in Rokai's mind as well. It's like, no, you are still a member
Does
of the
he
Togashi Order.
understand it, or does he just accept that Ben's character's a bit fucking crazy?
He accepts the fact that he's still, even though his name has changed, he's still speaking in
He's
the
still
pseudo riddles and obscurities that the Togashi are famous for.
getting the
And
Togashi out of the. Sorry.
yeah, so why did you decide to join up with the Heichi here? Like, speak plain. What's and as he's talking to you and admiring the scenery, he actually gets out a little sketchbook and starts doodling with a piece of charcoal.
Okay. To speak plain, the path of enlightenment leads to many diverse places, and I bend to its will. And that is as plain as I can speak.
I believe you.
Yeah. So you're saying that this is the only
Yes.
Okay. Right.
What's happening?
Yeah. And as you do these general chats and almost breaking him, you start seeing these two pictures form on these two pieces of paper that he's been sketching on. And there's something about these two pictures that sings to you.
Okay.
Yeah. Can you tell me what these two pictures are, please? Well, these are going to be the next.
Oh, I see. Oh, this is going to be difficult. So the picture, one picture is of a spider, a sort of a thin-legged spider on a flower, on a lotus. And the other is hold on. An ink black kanji.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm not even sure what that is, but
Yeah.
it's one of them.
Kanji is the letters
Spirit.
of the alphabet.
All right.
Yeah, so kanji can mean a letter or a word. Is the
Okay.
writing
So
system.
in that case, this ink black kanji represents oneness with all.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Okay. Something of these sings to you, and he notices that you're taking an interest in his sketches. The kanji itself is, you can see he is an artist. It was a quick, instinctive drawing of the kanji that the calligraphy is beautiful. As you know, that one of his schools, the Swordsmaster School he has attended, actually actively encourages calligraphy, as they believe that the calligraphy can aid in the swordsmanship.
Okay.
But he sees that you've paid interest to these, and he looks to you and goes, has something caught your eye in these things?
You have a masterful skill, Roki-san. Could I ask you a favor, perhaps, before you leave?
Of course. I mean, I hope to stay for a while. Now that I have the option of leaving, I would actually like to see the lands that I've been looking over from the mountain, and actually visit them. What is this favor?
Your images that you have drawn in while we speak, they speak to me. Would you perhaps adorn my skin with them?
Yes, of course. I have not practiced tattooing for a while. None among the Boar came to me, so I've not had a chance to practice. But if you trust me enough to do this and not to mar your body, then I would be honored.
A wise dragon learns from both the rose and the thorn.
And it may be a thorn that pricks you, I'm afraid. And with that, he actually starts looking around, and he starts a fire. And for the next few hours, he creates a charcoal ink. And whilst he's creating the charcoal to create for the ink, he starts laying out some pieces of wood, some thorns, and so on, to find the right pieces to actually be good enough to do this, because he knows that a tattooed monk holds the artistry
Beat his
high.
ass if he does it wrong.
That as well, yes. Yeah. And in the morning, as the light is coming up, he turns to you and says, "Where would you like these?"
Some space close to my heart for the kanji, and some space on my arm for the spider.
And I suggest for the spider, your shoulder blade and climbing over the shoulder.
Very well. That sounds like an excellent idea. I will not gainsay an artist's vision.
And for you spend some time now laying flats, being or sitting and being moved around where as needed, and the feeling of meditation and peace comes upon you. And as you do so, you feel the movements of Rokai changing slightly, as if he is being. You would know this from your meditations, that he is moving without thought, without any planning. He's just creating. And you can feel the spirit of Togashi actually surrounding you and coming up within your soul. And as he completes each of these tattoos, there is a slight pulse of a heartbeat. And as he finishes the spider, the actual spider moves its position and the tattoo moves on its own and starts coming up the side of your neck. The kanji changes slightly and looks now more like an actual brushstroke of ink on your chest, on your sternum. That it doesn't look like a tattoo, it looks like a full ink brush. And you feel a connection to everything around you. You can see the small life, you can feel it, of some birds in a tree behind you. You can feel the grass growing underneath you. And your heartbeats is coming in time with that of Rokai. And as he finishes and you both pause, you realize that he himself does not know exactly what has happened, but he knows that he has completed something special. And so he bows low to you as he's kneeling, fully prostrates himself, head on the ground, and says, "Thank you. Thank you for giving me this time."
Thank you, Rocky-san. And I'll bow back and then lift him up and say, "You need never bow to me."
And that is a very good place to actually leave it for the evening. So thank you very much for everyone to trust me after all this time again, actually running something. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope the people out there watching us enjoyed it as well. We shall see you whenever we get a chance to do this again in the next couple of weeks.
4 months.
Weeks. It's going to be the next couple of weeks.
Cool.
It is.
Whatever
Don't
you
worry,
say.
we'll have another game this year.
Yes, very much so.
Thanks very
Got a
much.
whole
Brilliant.
year to do it.
Thanks very much.
Bye for now.
Cheers, folks. Bye now.
Bye, folks.
Thank you.